People. It's time to read the room, okay? Read the room. Let's read the economy. Let's read the country. We can pay attention to the financial markers, but then also different things we're seeing within sneakers right now, whether it be shoes sitting or them going on discount, like immediately. Listen, not only are some consumers just not as impressed with releases we're seeing right now in 2023, and that could be for a number of reasons, but a lot of us are facing a very dark reality this month. In October, it has nothing to do with slasher or horror movies. Now I'm talking about something else.
This won't apply to everyone, but it will to millions of us who still have federal student loans in repayment. October 2023 marks the end of a 3-year pause on any payments and interest.
Now, if you were able during the past few years to pay on those federal student loans while that pause is in effect and essentially lower your overall principal balance, but then also the monthly minimum you would have to pay once these payments kick back in, that's amazing, that's great, and I love that for you. I myself did that. I did an entire series following that process on the channel. You can certainly check that out in the description box of this video. And you know what? I brought my payment down to essentially a women's Air Jordan 1 High retail pair at tax on. So about $190. That's where I sit right now just for the minimum payment. And sidebar, I know it's said in like some previous videos, oh no, I certainly wouldn't fast track any more payoffs for my student loans because, to be fair, the interest I gain in the market is more favorable than the lower cost for my student loans and the interest that they have attached to them. But things could change. We'll circle back to this in 2024. The truth is, not everyone could do that. You weren't in a position maybe to actually make additional payments. And you know what? You're now faced with some really, just massive opportunity costs as we head into Q4. There are tons of pairs dropping. We've already seen that. Let's just go ahead and run down a few of them we're still anticipating for this year. And I'm not going over all of them, but just some of the big ones, okay? So the Air Jordan 12 Cherry, which that's still on my list for right now. The Air Jordan 1 Satin Bread, that is a women's only release, so sorry, not extended sizing. You have the Air Jordan 11 Gratitude. I've seen the buzz, so I'm also about tired of looking at them at this point. The Kobe 6 Reverse Grinch, that is something I'm interested in. And then if we jump over to Adidas, the long-awaited Fear of God collection with 3 stripes. Now that can range from, the actual lows to the highs, the basketball options, okay? There are options there. And more than ever, that's what consumers are faced with. Everywhere you turn, there's an opportunity cost. And in truth, many of you may have had pretty extensive lists that you wanted. Like that wish list was deep. It was heavy. It may not be anymore. And yet people will still, at their grown ages, get on the internet and say, oh, I guess y'all didn't want these, huh? No, for the 5th pair, you told them this month alone was a must-have and don't sleep. No, they didn't want them. Or maybe they wanted them and realized they didn't need them. Or maybe they wanted them, didn't need them. They have other responsibilities to take care of. And as an adult, that's the self-awareness you need to have. You certainly can't do everything you want to do all at once. I'm going to say most of the time, if we're being honest with ourselves, because there's always like one additional step that we could take as just individuals to get closer to the ultimate goals we may have in terms of stability, freedom. I'm all for balance, but yes, there's always something more that we could do. People are looking to do that. And quite honestly, they don't have a choice right now. Like they are trying to free themselves from these student loans, and one more pair that they're never going to get a chance to wear, that's not really helping. If you've scaled back that pickup list from wherever it's stood at the start of 2023 to where it is right now. And maybe that's so you can really dive in, have a plan in place for how to tackle these student loan payments. All the while, maybe you would like to enjoy more experiences with the people you love and care about over just things like the things that you have in your closet right now. I don't care if it's a hoodie. I don't care if it's a hat. You want more experiences. It could be attending sporting events. I've said that before. It can be any number of things. Maybe you want experiences over things. Maybe it's much more important to you. Also, if you have kids and they're just expensive, like they in themselves are expensive. So you have kids. Maybe you're trying to build memories. You would like to get something jump-started off the ground, and a lot of times, guess what? Trying to do that means you have to invest some type of capital into the venture itself or into yourself. All I'm saying, sweetie, you're doing great. You're doing an amazing job in being responsible. I know you're going to feel as if you are really missing out, and you may see a lot of reckless people up and down your timeline. They're not slowing down anything, even though they've complained about student loans in the past. Like, they're not slowing down. And whatever approach you want to take, it doesn't affect me. So if you choose to go default on those loans, I mean, you're lucky that they're not going to really, I guess, take action or have any dire consequences against you in the first year, they said, then by all means, like, do that. But if you are someone, you've looked at the balance, you've looked at the payments, and you said, hey, more of my disposable income, maybe it can go towards paying it off extra, then that's great, and I applaud that. And for some of you, this is the reality. Do not feel bad at all. It's not even trying to pay down those loans or the balance faster, it's just trying to stay afloat. I'm well aware that not everyone has recovered from what occurred in 2020. And you finally managed to find some level of stability with getting everything done that you need to take care of. And now you likely have this $300 to $500 bill. It could be even higher depending on what your balance and your interest rates are to repay again. That's a boat that a lot of us are in. And I certainly wish you the best. And if we're being honest with ourselves, you probably ran out of space for half the pairs you own already. So I discussed that in a previous video. Please be sure to check that out. I'm sure it's somewhere on the screen. Thank you for tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. It's okay to sleep. Peace.